After Trill Cipher's first appearance in Gravity Falls, the town awakens to a new kind of supernatural chaos. The morning sun rises unevenly across the sky, casting impossible shadows that shift and dance without reason. Blue temporal energy crackles through the air like lightning frozen in time. The very fabric of reality seems to be unraveling, and our young heroes are about to face their greatest challenge yet. In the attic of the Mystery Shack, 13-year-old Dipper Pines hunches over a makeshift desk, surrounded by dozens of clocks that tick in chaotic disharmony. Each timepiece shows a different hour, as if time itself has become confused. With Stan and Ford away on their sea voyage, Dipper has taken it upon himself to understand these temporal disturbances. His journal lies open, filled with hastily scrawled notes about the blue square entity they encountered. Mabel Pines stirs from her sleep, her clock-patterned pajamas seeming almost prophetic now. The sound of her brother's frantic note-taking has become the soundtrack to their new reality. As she stretches and yawns, she notices something unsettling. Even her movements feel slightly out of sync, as if she's moving through thick honey. The temporal anomalies are affecting everything, even the simplest actions. Suddenly, every clock in the attic begins ticking in perfect unison. The chaotic symphony becomes a single, ominous rhythm. Blue energy pulses from each timepiece, and both twins freeze in terror. This is no random occurrence. Something is controlling time itself. The synchronized ticking sounds like a heartbeat, as if the town has become a living entity with temporal blood flowing through its veins. Venturing into town, Dipper and Mabel witness the full extent of the temporal chaos. The fountain flows upward in defiance of gravity, its water suspended in crystalline droplets that sparkle with blue energy. Children play hopscotch in slow motion while adults rush past in fast-forward blur. Street lamps flicker between day and night settings, creating a disorienting strobe effect across the square. At his hot dog cart, Sus Ramirez stands completely motionless, trapped in a temporal loop. Hot dogs float in midair around him, frozen at the exact moment they left his spatula. His eyes stare blankly ahead, unseeing and unresponsive. Dipper waves his hand frantically in front of Sus's face, but their friend remains locked in time's embrace, a victim of forces beyond their understanding. Nearby, Wendy Corduroy experiences perhaps the most disturbing effect of all. Her body rapidly cycles through different ages: child, teenager, adult, elderly, in a continuous loop of temporal displacement. Multiple semi-transparent versions of herself overlap in a dizzying display of chronological chaos. Her expression shifts between confusion and fear as she struggles to maintain her sense of self through the age transformations. A bewildered tourist approaches them, moving in extreme fast-forward. His words come out as high-pitched gibberish, incomprehensible in their accelerated state. Dipper tries to communicate, speaking slowly and deliberately, but the temporal mismatch makes conversation impossible. The tourist's frantic gestures suggest he's asking for help, but he's trapped in his own accelerated timeline. Following Dipper's makeshift temporal compass, constructed from clock parts and determination, the team ventures into the forest. Here, the temporal anomalies create an impossible landscape where autumn and spring exist simultaneously. Leaves fall upward while flowers bloom in reverse. Wendy, still flickering between ages, and the twins navigate this chronological maze, following the compass toward the source of the disturbance. In a forest clearing, they discover the source of the chaos Trill Cipher's elaborate Victorian tea party. The blue square entity sits regally at an ornate table, complete with floating teacups and a steaming teapot that defies gravity. His single eye gleams with malicious intelligence while his monocle catches the strange light. The temporal distortions emanate from this very spot, rippling outward like stones thrown into a pond of time. To their horror, Sus appears in the clearing, but something is terribly wrong. His eyes glow with the same blue energy as Trill's temporal magic, and his movements are stiff and unnatural. Trill Cipher has taken control of their friend, turning him into a temporal puppet. The entity's Victorian mustache twitches with amusement as he demonstrates his power over both time and mind. Thinking quickly, The team grabs small mirrors from Wendy's backpack and positions them strategically around a large blue temporal crystal that serves as Trill's power source. As they angle the mirrors, the blue energy beams bounce between the reflective surfaces, creating a complex web of redirected temporal force. The crystal begins to crack under the pressure of its own reflected power, and Trill Cipher's confident expression turns to one of shock and rage. The temporal crystal shatters with a sound like breaking glass mixed with thunder. Trill Cipher's form begins to dissolve into blue particles, his Victorian composure finally cracking. "This isn't over," he declares as his top hat tumbles to the ground and his monocle chain snaps. The tea party setup fades away like a mirage, and Seuss blinks back to normal consciousness, his eyes clearing of the blue glow. Back in town, normalcy has been restored. The fountain flows downward as nature intended, children play at regular speed, and the street lamps maintain their proper day-night cycle. Seuss serves hot dogs with his usual cheerful demeanor, completely unaware of his recent possession. Wendy has stabilized at her proper age, though she still looks slightly shaken by the experience. The temporal storm has passed, leaving only memories and questions. As evening falls, Dipper sits in the attic, carefully documenting their encounter with Trill Cipher in his journal. He sketches the blue square entity with meticulous detail: the top hat, monocle, Victorian mustache, and the small clock symbol that marked him as a master of time. Mabel works on a craft project nearby, her presence a comforting reminder that some things remain constant even when time itself goes awry. The twins have faced their first challenge without adult guidance and emerged victorious, but they know this is only the beginning of a much larger threat.